Guys, it's time to get it going. Navy ready for kickoff as we get this game started. On the move from inside is 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. So the Florida Atlantic Owls offense will have the football first. And guys, defenses have been trying to figure out for years how to keep this guy from getting open, and they just can't seem to solve the riddle.
No, this guy has experience. He's been in the big moments. It is so nice to have a guy that's been in your system, in your scheme. He knows the in and outs. You can move him all over the field. You can't place a premium high enough on a guy that knows the system inside and out.
You're right, and tell you, it was a great day for this offense when he decided to come back for his senior year, too. There were a lot of people that thought he might declare for the NFL. They weren't sure.
Turning it on! Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34.
When you go on the road, man, oh man, you love hearing the crowd, but more importantly, you love shutting the crowd up. There's no better feeling than coming out, getting that juice going, getting that confidence going, getting that running game going right at them and gashing them right out the gates.
Across the 50 and down and out of bounds at the 44. A good pickup on that one. Florida Atlantic going back to work after moving the chains. Use the play fake, now to throw. Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. He's brought down. A short return to the defense comes out on top of the pick.
I hate to be Captain Obvious, but it's pretty obvious that it's raining. And you just don't know how a quarterback is going to always respond and hand size and how they throw in the rain. An opening drive, a chance to come out and get some momentum, and he makes a critical mistake. And you talk about giving momentum away. Let's see how this offense now comes out and responds the next possession.
Gets the back moving on the option. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Navy needs to come up with a big play on 3rd and long. Motion from the back. Here comes the option. This defensive front just ran free in the backfield. He'll lose 3. And here comes the punt team. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. He's got it. Pretty solid coverage there, and they'll stop him at the 26. The Florida Atlantic offense will return to the field. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you've got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game if you're going to win. And, David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and 3rd down is coming. And the Owls come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Might be calling a hot route. Dropping back, it's Gideon. Another incompletion on 3rd down.
And I like the aggressiveness on 3rd and short, trying to throw the football, take advantage of a look that they got. They weren't successful, and now it's 4th and short territory. Who knows what they're going to do?
Wide open downfield. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a 1st down. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. Looking to throw again. Slings it downfield. On target to the left. Stopped and forced out of bounds at the 21-yard line, just outside the red zone, and they are looking to get one in here. This Florida Atlantic offense is on a roll. Throws for the tight end. And it's incomplete, but there's a flag in the backfield. Let's see who the call's on.
Hold him. Offense.
Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. After getting moved back, it's 1st and 20. Got it in the middle, it's Breeze. Several defenders get an assist on that tackle. Let's talk for a second about Florida Atlantic. You start the season top 25. Clearly expectations are flying your way, but with that might come some roadblocks.
Well, I think you got to take every week and every...
Touchdown, Florida Atlantic. Snagged in the end zone to give them 6.
Well, the quarterback had the matchup he wanted. His big tight end with that wingspan working against that defender in the end zone. Man, that QB will take that matchup all day.
And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. An 84-yard drive there, and they finish things up with a dart from 24 yards out. And he's going to try to return this one. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. And Navy will go back on the attack. They went 3 and out on their first possession. Now to see if they can be more productive this time around. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Man, this defense is setting the tone early. 3 and out on the first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, they get a TFL. They are sending a very clear and distinct message to this offense. They are going to set the tone of this game.
Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Yeah, and it's a nice job by this defense. Understand, listen, that QB is a threat, and they're going to run all kinds of options, and he's going to run the football. They were dialed in and got that sucker to the ground.
He just refused to go down, kept finding space, and picked up 7. It'll be 4th and 1. Navy will have to punt it away. He'll try to really get into this one. Pulls it in at the 40. Slips through the line. He's going to get loose. He will score. Touchdown, Florida Atlantic. That return man saw daylight the instant the ball touched his hands, and he darted to it and took it to the house.
And Reese, I think it's one of the hardest things to do in football, to catch the ball as all these guys are flying around you, and you got to take it, make them miss, try to find spaces and creases that aren't there. Great job making a huge play. Special teams and punt returns coming up big.
Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. A lot of work to do as this drive will start from the 16-yard line. Wide receiver comes in motion. With jet sweep pass. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside. David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of a spot.
Now the defense will try to rise up on 3rd and short from the 21. Leaves it with the back. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. Navy will have to punt it away. And guys, Florida Atlantic has the edge. Man, that was an impressive and dominant first quarter. Let's take a look at the stats before we move on. They bring the punter onto the field now. He'll field the punt and take it back. He'll be guided out of bounds, but not before a nifty return on that one. Florida Atlantic takes over again, and the Owls offense will go back to work. They reeled off a long touchdown drive the last time. They had a much better field position this time around. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. Back to pass. It's Gideon. Quarterback extends the play. Just couldn't find an open man. He'll get rid of it, and it'll be second down.
I'm impressed with this defense, man, because that QB is lightning fast. You see how fast that defender was able to get to him and force the incompletion? Wow.
Fires to the wideout. Fired just a little too long as the junior frustrated. He missed that connection.
That's what the offense would love to have back. That's a play they practice over and over and over. They feel like they can run that play in their sleep, not able to connect there.
Making side adjustments here. On third and long, he has to throw for it. A strike downfield. Touchdown Owls! Once he got some room, it was over.
They have been road warriors here in this game, coming into a tough environment, but in all three phases, they have been absolutely dominant. Their defense is not allowed a point, and the offense is going up and down the field, and they score another touchdown here before the end of the first half.
Here's the return from inside his 10. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. And here comes the Navy offense. They really needed to get points on this drive to sort of steady the ship. The option look. And the defense makes the stop after a minimal gain. Navy quick to the line. Guys, let's chat a bit about Navy. At some point, with all of the transfer portal talk and guys going in and out, you can score one for continuity with this ball club, can't you, David?
That means your system and your culture is working, because these guys so often are just going for the next opportunity, the next bag of money. Nice job. They kept their guys that they recruited, that they love.
Yeah, it sounds so cliche, but these players really have bought in to this coaching staff and the message and what they're preaching. They all believe they could do something very special this season.
He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and fourth down's coming. Hunt is in the air. Looks it all the way in and now turns his attention upfield. He was able to get that ball up to the 48-yard line before he stopped on the return. Florida Atlantic has the ball back, and the offense will try to put together a drive. Look out, he's got room. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line? Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. The play action fake. Fires to the big fella. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
Man, it's nice having a QB that is going to hang in there. You can tell, hang in there. He knows he's going to get hit, right? If I'm going to get hit, I might as well make a completion. Great job.
Oh, he's got some space. Now they're really starting to threaten as they pick up the first down at the 34-yard line. Florida Atlantic goes to work with a fresh set of downs. Might as well give it to him again. Pass the sticks and still on his feet. He's up to 57 yards on. A very productive first half here in the season opener. This Florida Atlantic offense is moving quickly. Out of the gun to the inside handoff, looking for a crease.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. From the gun, running back on the move. Headed to the end zone, and he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Owls!
You talk about going on the road and making a statement. 27-0. Hostile environment beat dang. You talk about home field advantage? Well, it hasn't worked. They have come in and had answers and started this first half as good as you possibly can.
He'll start the return inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. Trying to get the corner. And he'll lose yardage on this play. Loses 2 yards. Great job by the defense. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Goes to the option. And he doesn't find much running room. A short gain on the play. Whistle blows. We are at the 2-minute timeout. And man, oh man, could these guys use a score to cut into this lead. The midshipman looking for a chunk play on 3rd and long. He'll ride his man on the option. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Navy will have to punt it away. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. The Florida Atlantic offense will return to the field. They'll open this drive from their own 42-yard line. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect it.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have turned out everybody right now on the same page.
And a good job in coverage there. They stop it after just a few. Looking to pass. It's Gideon. Get it out on the screen. And he never had a chance. As soon as he caught it, the defense was right there.
How about the job and recognition by the defense? They knew exactly what they were trying to set up, and they had multiple defenders surrounding that intended target so that there was nowhere for him to go once he caught the ball.
That's not quite going to be enough as they stop him 4 yards short of the marker.
That's just a very easy, comfortable throw for the quarterback. He knows he has his big target, tight end, running across the field on the drag. Nice play.
He's going to take off. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And they'll line up from the 31 on 1st down.
Here we go, set.
To the air on 1st down. Snagged in the middle. It's Breeze. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover. Pick up the 1st. Quick timeout from the offense to save precious seconds. The Owls in a good spot here with 2nd and short.
Okay, break.
Back to pass. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. Got his man on the right. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it 1st and goal. This offense has been a juggernaut, and they have a chance to pad their total just before halftime. They'll run it on 1st and goal. And they're finally able to get him on the ground at the 1. Florida Atlantic trying to get back on the ball. Running play to the left, looking for the end zone here. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Florida Atlantic.
Man, what great offensive execution. You talk about addressing a 2-minute situation and using almost all of the clock, adding to your lead and creating more momentum going into the half. Great execution by this offense.
On the run from inside his own 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. So the offense doesn't want to take a chance here. They'll just come out and take a knee and wrap up the half. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Fellas, you have been calling a great broadcast today from there in Annapolis.
Florida Atlantic about to boot it away and get this 2nd half underway. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. And the midshipman offense making its way back onto the field. What could go wrong did in the 1st half, and they start this 3rd quarter at the bottom of the mountain.
Man, that was bad. That was a frying pan to the head. That was a TKO. It was awful in the 1st half. Flush it, I got to start doing something right. I got to find some positives. I get the ball first to start this possession, try to put a scoring drive together.
The only thing you can do at this point offensively is just make sure your best players are touching the football as often as possible. You recruited these guys, you got guys out of the portal, you put your faith in them to make plays. This is a time to go out and do it.
Defense not budging. He's still able to get 2 to the 29.
And that run really didn't go anywhere, and a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive line.
Reels it in down the left side. Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31.
And you talk about catching the defense sleeping. They did not think they were going to throw it to the fullback. He breaks loose, wide open for the huge gain. Nice play by the big man.
They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
And after your defense just went out there and gave up a touchdown and let them build the lead more, you really need to come out with this drive and answer. And the running game is not it. They were ready for that. Gonna have to create some explosive plays through the passing game.
They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
Fullbacks, a.k.a. blocking backs, a.k.a. don't touch the football very often, and usually don't go far down the field. But a nice little chunk run here for the fullback. Give him the ball, reward the big fella.
3rd and short from the 26. Pretty easy field goal range, but they'd love to pick up the first. A shot toward the end zone. And swatted down by the defense to stop the scoring opportunity. Here comes the field goal unit as they'll try to get the 3. This might be a little easier if it were straight on, but a 43-yarder from the right hash. And he missed it. No good. And I guess they wanted to draw a little closer instead. They're still way...
And sometimes I just feel like 4th down, man, just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss, make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
There he goes. Just working and poking and prodding and finding his way up to the 36.
And that would be the definition of 1st down success. Putting yourself in a good position. It's 2nd and inches. I can do whatever I want next. I can take a shot down the field. I can run the football and get a new set of downs. Like, nice 1st down execution.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical. They're trying to stay on the field.
And a decent gain there before the defense makes the stop.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
We'll send the tight end in motion. The give to the back. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you a spark. Maybe this gets you some energy. Maybe we'll see a little bit more life from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to find things to build off of. Maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent of things they did right and things that they got to do more consistently moving forward.
Florida Atlantic has the offense humming. They'll give it to the back. Thrust that arm out.
And winning 1st downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on 1st down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in 2nd and short, not a good job by this defense.
And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Working the middle. Perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle at the 17. Florida Atlantic will go to work with a fresh set of downs. Tight end now in motion. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. Firing to the right, complete. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion. All right, guys, so Florida Atlantic has the lead. This has been a complete obliteration so far, as the third quarter stats will show you. They had a chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on second down. From the shotgun, the inside give. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Florida Atlantic.
And added on again, this offense has done whatever they want, however they want, and this lead has ballooned. When you start a season off, you want to build momentum. You want to defeat an opponent and beat them badly. That's exactly what they've done. This team looks ready to compete for a national championship.
Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. And Navy will go back on the attack. Linebackers shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a read. He'll pull it down.
You see a lot of quarterbacks get in trouble when they start forcing things. He did a really good job. He wanted to throw the football. You could tell. Drops back, nothing open. It's okay. I'm just going to take off and get what I can get.
He'll pull it on the read. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Navy now facing third and short. The give to the fullback. Breaks into the open. And with that effort, they pick up a fresh set of downs. They have it at the 34-yard line. Here comes the offense on first down. Now on the option. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Great job staying home by the defense there. Offense trying to go option. The QB keeps it, but you see the great assignment football. Everybody's staying where they're supposed to be, and they're able to rally to the quarterback and tackle him for a loss.
My old coach said, you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
They'll run play action. Rush coming in high, and they got him at the 29. Navy will have to punt it away. They're up to a half dozen kicks today. Makes the catch. Wants to make a move upfield. They'll put a stop to that return at about the 37-yard line. Florida Atlantic takes over again, and the Owls offense will go back to work. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute there.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referees caught it.
Looking downfield on first down. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion. What will they dial up on second, and a long way to go? Oh, got enough for the first down. The freshman brought down after a really nice run there.
And this is exactly what you want to do when you're on offense. You have the lead. You want to chew the clock, keep the ball on the ground, keep that thing just ticking, Palmer.
They're just imposing their will, Dave, and that's something that we've seen, I think, all game. Up front, they've been the more physical team. They're the ones that's getting pushed and that's getting movement, and it's carrying over all the way here deep into the fourth quarter.
Pulls and throws off the RPO. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down. They're dealing with a second and long. They'll run it to keep the clock moving. And he uses the stiff arm to push his way past the sticks and pick up the first down. Florida Atlantic comes to the line on first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. This time the defense was ready, and they stop him in his tracks. They need 7 more yards to reach the end zone. It's 2nd and goal. Looking to fire. Looking to get it in. That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1.
And there's no mercy rule in college football. They've got a huge lead here in the 4th quarter, and they're still staying aggressive. They're still throwing the football, going out and executing, working on their craft. They've got bigger fish coming up down the road, bigger games. So you got to keep sharpening the tools, and that's what you're seeing here in the 4th quarter.
They'll try to run it in. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
And this kind of performance has to give this team so much confidence. Week 1, you go on the road into a hostile environment, and you put the beat down like this. This coaching staff is going to be happy on the ride home.
And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. Running the read option to the left. He's in open space downfield. And he froze that defender. He thought he was going to pitch it, kept it himself, and then turned it into a big play. The midshipman got the explosive play on the ground. Let's see if they go right back to it. On the option. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
Well, obviously a really nice play by the defense there stopping the option, but I think that's on the quarterback because it looked like his pitch option was wide open. That ball should have gone to the running back out on the perimeter. It looked like he had some open field in front of him to go make something positive happen. This quarterback's got to make better decisions. It's not just the passing game. It's in the run game with the option, too.
3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Gets rid of it. The short hands. It's Potts. And boy, is he close to that 1st down, maybe just a couple of inches short. The old coaching cliche, go win or no every week. And for the 1st week, they get it done.
Yeah, great start to the season. That's what you want. You want to come out, find a way to win. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. You're going to find things to work on throughout the season. But 1-0, that's where you want it to be.
And I think if you're the coaching staff of this winning team, you've got to like what you've just seen. First game of the year, there was tremendous effort on the field. Guys flying around, flying to the football, trying to make the plays necessary to win this game.